hello to all the fans of the greatest show on earth, which is The Vampire Diaries. I welcome you at the beautiful 14th episode that is called Fool Me Once, which is a reference to a famous saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Now, I have just one note to the last episode when we mentioned Damon cooking in Elena's kitchen, and I didn't even realize that he's like making dinner, but he's not even eating. Like, how did that happen? That Damon was cooking dinner in Jenna's kitchen, like in Elena's kitchen. Like, I just want to know. I want to know the story behind Damon appearing in their house to cook dinner. But okay. Also, when I was starting this episode to start the prep for the podcast, when I went to like HBO Max and before I pushed the play button, I saw the year 2010. 2010, which is 16 years ago. I was finishing high school in 2010. Like, it's like a different life, different lifetime. Like, what is even happening? Is time even real? Like, it really got me thinking. That is insane, 2010. But anyways, let's dive into today's episode. In the recap, we see what happened in the past couple of episodes. It catches up to all the important things that has happened. It's mainly about the tomb and Catherine, and it ends with the scene of Elena and Stefan, but mainly Stefan realizing that Elena is gone. So in the first scene of this episode, we find ourselves in the motel room where Anna and Ben are staying, and we see Elena, who is waking up on the bed, and she realizes that Ben is sleeping. So Elena is sneaking to the door and she's trying to get out of the room because it's daytime, so she figures if she can, get to the door, open the door, run away, he's not going to be able to catch her. Then she slowly unlocks the door, which is super nerve-wracking because he has the vampire hearing, and then she's opening the door, but then in that moment Ben is already up. He's right away at Elena and he's telling her, don't try to escape, don't even move, do you understand? And he's compelling her, and she says, I understand. But Ben thinks he's compelling her, but Elena is wearing a vervain necklace that Stefan gave her. So when Ben turns away, Elena opens the door and she almost makes it out, but in that moment Anna appears and she grabs Elena and pushes her back into the room. And then she tells to Ben, seriously? And Ben says, I told her not to move. I did that thing that you taught me. And Anna says, and you forgot the lesson about vervain. She dates vampires, Ben. Or she says she dates a vampire, Ben, sorry. And then Elena is asking Anna, who are you? What do you want? Anna says, does it matter? And then she shoves Elena into the bathroom. And in the bathroom, Elena realizes that Bonnie is laying unconscious in the tub. After this, we see the Vampire Diaries on the screen. And our 14th episode is officially starting. In this first scene, I quite don't understand that Elena was not tied to the bed in the motel room. Because, especially because Anna doesn't really trust Ben that much. And she always tells him how bad of a vampire he is. And then she leaves Elena, who is very important to Anna's cause. She leaves her there with Ben alone. And she doesn't even tie her to the bed. I mean, come on. Anyways, in the next scene, we are at the Salvador, a boarding house or Salvador house, and Damon is sitting in their library and he's reading in Emily's grimoire when Stefan, totally stressed out, is coming to him and he says, Anna took Elena. Yep, I got that from your 600 voicemails. Damon, all night long, every single street in town I've been searching. What if your blood hasn't passed out of her system? Well, then at least you'll see her again. Please, what do you know? You were with Anna. You must know where she's living. Just tell me where I can find her. Nope. You can go. Really. All I can remember is hating you. There might have been a time when that was different, but your choices have erased anything good about you. But see, I also know you have just as much as reason to hate me. This all began with me. Catherine got taken away because of me, and I'm sorry. Apology accepted. So please, just tell me what you know. Huh? It's Elena, Damon. If you know something, tell me. I mean this sincerely. I hope Elena dies. And I love the way that Damon says this, because he like literally spits out one word at a time. I hope Elena dies. And I know, I'm pretty sure, Damon did not mean this, but he just needed to get back at Stefan. He needed to hurt him. And he knew by saying this, he's gonna hurt him. And also by not saying where Anna is. And Damon is totally enjoying Stefan's despair in this scene, and he just wants that revenge. And at the end of the scene, we see Stefan's face like for a split of a second, and he's totally devastated. In the next scene, we are back at the motel room, where Elena gets like a towel and she puts some water on it and she puts it on Bonnie's forehead, and Bonnie is waking up. Bonnie tells her that she's stupid, that she like didn't realize that Ben was a vampire, but Elena says like it, she couldn't have known. And then she goes to the sink and she puts the water on so they can talk without Ben and Anna hearing them. Bonnie is asking her why they are there, and Elena says that it must be because of the tomb and because of Emily's grimoire. After that, Ben goes into the bathroom, he shuts off the water, and Bonnie is yelling at him, "You're wasting your time, I'm not gonna help you." Ben then grabs Elena and he says that's why she's here. It's like your motivation, or for your motivations, or for you to behave. And then Ben tells Elena she wants to talk to you. So Elena is in the room now with Anna, and Anna tells her, well, Elena Gilbert, you really are a Catherine's doppelganger. You must have the Salvatore boys reeling. And Elena asks her, who are you? And Anna says, I'm Anna. Your brother may have mentioned me. I mean, we're like practically dating. And you know when I was talking in the last episode about some sentences that give me the ick? This is one of them. I mean, we're like practically dating. I just hate that. I hate the way she say it. I mean, maybe if she didn't say it the way she does, I wouldn't hate it as much. But like, I don't like it. In the next scene, we are at the grill where Jer is sitting at the table and doing homework, and Tyler is playing pool by himself. Who plays pool by themselves? I don't know. And Matt is not busting. Matt is like cleaning up the table, bussing the tables. He's cleaning up the tables, and Tyler is telling to Matt about a party at Duke's, and that there's gonna be 10 cakes. And Matt tells him the Duke is like a douche and he's not going. And then Tyler is like, yeah, but he's a douche with 10 cakes, aka my best friend. Then Jeremy scoffs and Tyler is like, what's your problem, Gilbert? Don't have one, Lockwood? Yeah, I didn't think so. And Matt tells to Tyler, do you ever get bored of it? And Tyler says, of what? And Matt is like, yourself. Then Caroline is coming to the grill and she goes to Jeremy. She's asking him where is Elena, that she's been texting her and Bonnie all day about Duke's party and they're not replying. Jeremy says that she went somewhere with Stefan, and Caroline tells him she's not going to be one of those girls who disappears just because they have a new boyfriend. Jeremy asks her who is Duke, and Caroline says some guy that graduated a couple years ago and he throws a party every time he comes home from Duke. And Jerry's like, wait, Duke goes to Duke? And Caroline says, his name is Bob or something, he's a total ass, but he buys beer, you should come. Yeah, I don't think so. And then Caroline says, no, seriously, everyone goes, even quiet, loner little brothers. Think about it. Then Caroline sees Matt and she goes over to him. She says she has a speech for him. And she says, you kissed me, I don't want things to be weird. And then Matt is listening to her. And then Caroline gets to her speech and she says, so I know that you don't think that this is going to work out between us. I just want to let you know that right here, right now, I'm offering you an out, like an escape clause. And then Matt is like, what does that mean? Like, why do you need that? And he basically tells her that he doesn't need an escape clause. He also wants it to work. And then they both look happy. Next, we have Damon, who goes to Bonnie's grandma's house, and Bonnie's grandma's name is Sheila, so let's call her Sheila because Bonnie's grandma, she's gonna be a lot in this episode, and it gets a little confusing. So Damon shows up at Sheila's house. He's asking Sheila where Bonnie is, but Sheila absolutely wants nothing to do with Damon, and she tells him that he is really brave to come to her house and want some kind of favors from her. And she also tells him that he is not a friend to her, and she wants him to leave. Then Damon tells her, like, yeah, come outside and say that again. So Sheila steps outside of the door, and Damon goes down and he's like in pain. And Sheila tells him, I am not Bonnie. You don't want to mess with me. We are back in the motel room in the next scene, where we continue conversation between Elena and Anna. Elena tells Anna that Bonnie's not gonna open the tomb. Anna says, I think she will. And Elena says, do you really want Catherine out that bad? Trust me, no one I know wants to see that girl again, except Damon, the love-struck idiot. Elena then says, oh, what is it? Or who is it? My mother's in there. Catherine couldn't help herself. She just had to toy around with both of the Salvatore brothers, and when she got caught, so did my mother. I watched Jonathan Gilbert take her away. Then Elena tells her that she's sorry, and Anna is surprised that Elena actually means this, considering that Anna is the one who kidnapped her. And then she tells her, yeah, I think we'll skip the dead mom bonding so you can start serving a purpose. Then Anna takes Elena's phone and she calls Stefan. She tells him Elena's okay, at least for now, but she will need Stefan to get the grimoire to Anna. Damon is listening on this conversation. Stefan tells Anna that he's gonna get the grimoire, and Anna tells him they're gonna meet in like half an hour in the town square. Stefan hangs up the phone and Damon tells him, well, grovel again. Oh wait, no, I don't care, because Damon is just awesome. Anna then leaves, and she's leaving Bonnie and Lena with Ben in the motel room. Bonnie tries to escape by setting Ben on fire using water, which is weird, but I guess Bonnie can do that. And he grabs Elena, and that makes Bonnie not to run away, so they're staying with Ben in the hotel room. In the next scene, we are in the town square, and Jeremy is in front of the grill, and he sees Anna that's walking on the town square. And Jer runs towards her and asks her out for a party that night. Anna tells him if he's finally ready to go out with her. And Jer says, it's been a while since I've been to a party, and I kind of want to get back out there and not to be such a loner. And I like you. You're fun. You're also kind of strange and lurky, but I guess I like that too. So yeah, you should come to the party with me. It's in the woods by the old cemetery. And Anna gets really intrigued by the information that it's in the woods. She's like, oh, it's there, huh? Okay, that sounds cool. I'll meet you. And Jer is all happy about it. He says, okay, great. Then Anna sits down on the bench in the town square, and she's looking around, and all of a sudden Damon is sitting next to her. Damon says, you got a hot date, or do you just plan on nabbing the entire Gilbert family? Which is an awesome joke, because I guess he just saw her with Anna, which I love, and he knows that she has Elena. Anna says, a party right next to the old cemetery. Isn't that nice of them? Lots of warm bodies for starving vampires. Damon says, I told you, I work alone. And Anna, yeah, so do I, but you're minus a witch and I'm minus a spellbook, so what do you say? Stefan will come after you, you know that, for messing with Elena. Then he won't be too happy if I kill her when I don't get what I want. And then she gets up and starts to walk away, but Damon then makes a face, and then he says, why do you want to do this? And Anna laughs at him in his face, and she says, God, it's like 1864 all over again. You Salvatores are truly pathetic when it comes to women. Tonight, after sundown, meet me at the church. Then we are back at the hotel room, and Ben is being mean to Bonnie. He's like, yeah, but witches are not immortal, so you can die. And Bonnie's like, yeah, we can die. And he being really mean to her, but then Stefan appears in the room. He opens up the curtains, and so Ben has to hide behind the beds because he would burn in the sun. And then Stefan gets Bonnie and Elena out of there. Stefan also tells Ben to leave the town after sundown, because if he sees him again, he's gonna kill him. Then we are in Sheila's house, which is again Bonnie's grandma, and they are sitting at the table together with Bonnie and they're chatting. Bonnie asks her how did she know where they are, and Graham says that she simply used a locator spell. And Elena and Stefan comes over. They all have a conversation about what they will do next, and Stefan tells Bonnie and Sheila that they cannot go out of the house, and Sheila doesn't like that. Elena says that they have to give Catherine to Damon, otherwise he's not gonna stop. And then maybe if they help him, all of that will end. Bonnie doesn't like that Damon should get what he wants, but Elena says that they really don't have any other choice. And then Sheila says, which is being pulled down by vampire problems. As much as we try to do to stay out of it, I'll open the tomb. You get your brother's girl and destroy the rest with fire. Then this will be all over. Then Stefan says we will still have to get Damon to agree, and Elena says he already agreed once. Yeah, but that was before we double-crossed him, and Elena said that he's hurt, it's different, and she knows what she has to do to get him to agree. But you know what I find weird? That Grams or Sheila would agree to opening the tomb so easily. I just think it would take a lot more for her to agree to do something like that. Because a couple moments before she almost killed Damon on her porch, so I don't know how they would make her agree so easily. In the next scene, we see Anna, who is coming back to her hotel room or motel room, and she sees that the door is wide open and the girls are not there. Ben tells her that was Stefan who got them out, but Anna is totally furious at Ben and she's panicking, but then she sits on the bed and she tells to herself, without the witch, we don't have Damon or the Grimoire. But Damon's not gonna stop. He'll find a way in, and we're gonna be there when he does. Next scene is a beautiful, beautiful scene between Damon and Elena, so let's have a look at that. Damon says, I'm gonna have to change the locks. You stage a jailbreak? And Elena said, I convinced Bonnie to help you. I doubt that. I'm not gonna say that I'm sorry we got the Grimoire without you last night, because I'm not. Not really. Well, at least you're honest. I was protecting the people that I loved, Damon, but so were you, in your own twisted way. And as hard as it is to figure, we're all on the same side, after the same thing. Not interested. Yes, you are, because you were willing to work with us yesterday. Fooled me once, shame on you. And this is where this episode got its name. And then Elena says, okay, when we were in Atlanta, why didn't you use your compulsion on me? Who says I didn't? You didn't. I know you didn't. But you could have. You and I, we have something, an understanding. And I know that my betrayal hurt you. Different from how it is with you and Stefan. But I'm promising you this now. I will help you get Catherine back. I wish I could believe you. Then Elena takes off her vervain necklace and she sets it down on the table. And she says, ask me if I'm lying now. Damon then says, Anna won't stop, by the way, no matter what I do. Then he picks up Elena's necklace and he puts it back on her neck, and he tells her, I didn't compel you in Atlanta because we were having fun. I wanted it to be real. I'm trusting you. Don't make me regret it. I didn't compel you in Atlanta because we were having fun. I wanted it to be real. I'm trusting you. Don't make me regret it. I really like this scene. I think their chemistry is really nice, and their little face expressions, but behind them so much emotions, it's insane. And I also like Elena's style of clothing, because it is very 2010, because she had 4 layers of clothes on top of each other, and I think that's all we used to wear back then. Then we are in the woods where Damon and Elena arrive together and the party is already happening. Elena says that she completely forgot that it's happening tonight, and that she hopes that the people kind of stay clear of the church where they will be. Matt and Caroline are joining Damon and Elena, and Caroline is asking Elena where she was all day. Damon says, long story, no time to tell it. Caroline snapped at him, I wasn't talking to you. Then Matt extends his arm to shake Damon's hand, and he says, we haven't met, I'm a Matt. And Damon doesn't miss an opportunity to make this into a joke when he replies, Matt, there is a reason we haven't met. And then he turns to Elena and grabs her, and he says, you and I are going this way. And then he pulls her away. Elena turns back to Caroline and Matt, and she just whispers, I'm sorry, guys. Then we are at the Old Fells Church, where is Bonnie, Sheila, and Stefan. Stefan tells them that he kind of cleared up downstairs and he lit the torches as they wanted. Bonnie then asks Stefan why does he have these gas containers, and he says for getting rid of the other vampires. Then Damon and Elena come, and Damon just kind of nods at Stefan and Bonnie and Sheila, and he says, brother, witches? Elena asks them if they're ready, and Bonnie says, I guess so. In the next scene, we see Tyler, who is kind of drunk. He's getting drunk with some guy, and then he sees Jeremy. He goes over to Jeremy, and he asks him if he has any weed. And then Jeremy is so a little puzzled by this, and he's like, you're kidding me, right? You act like a total dick every time we cross paths, and now you want to party with me? Tyler says to that, lighten up, Gilbert, I'm just asking you a question. Look, I don't get you, man. It's a party. You are a partier. There's no need to psychoanalyze it. I don't party anymore, and even if I did, it wouldn't be with you. No problem. Carry on just standing there by yourself, all alone, the enemy of fun. Do you even have any friends? And then Tyler walks away, and Jeremy's kind of sad. I guess he's thinking about what Tyler said, but then all of a sudden Anna appears behind Jeremy, and then they walk away into the woods. Then we are underneath the church, where Bonnie and Sheila are preparing for the spell. Sheila is calling upon the 4 elements, which is air, earth, fire, and water. Elena is surprised that they can use normal water from the tap, and Sheila kind of smirks at her and makes fun of her. She's like, what did you think it was gonna be? And Elena is like, I thought it has to be a mystical water or a holy water. And Sheila's like, no. Then Damon pulls out a bag of blood out of his jacket, and Stefan is like, why do you have that, or what is that? And Damon says it's for Catherine, that he's gotta have to give her something to get her going. And then Damon says to Stefan, admit it, you can't wait to get rid of me. And Stefan's like, I can't wait to get rid of you. And also, I found it super funny that Stefan is asking Damon why he has a blood bag. I mean, we know that Catherine's been trapped in there for 145 years, so what does Stefan think? That Damon just brought a snack with him? It's so stupid to me. I mean, I guess I understand they have to do this so that the viewers can get every detail that they wanted us to see and to understand it. I get that, but it is really stupid because I'm sure that Stefan would figure that out. So that was funny to me. Then we are at the woods, where we see Jer and Anna. Anna tells to Jeremy, not your scene, huh? And Jer says that he's not really sure what his scene is anymore. And then he says, what do you say? You want to be a part of my non-scene? And Anna says, I would happily be a part of your non-scene, except I'm leaving. Jeremy's surprised, and she says, yeah, my mom and I are moving away. Jerry's like, oh, that's a bummer. And Anna's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And then Anna says, I guess it's a goodbye. And then Anna's face kind of changes a little bit. And he sees the veins in on her face, and it's the vampire veins. And before he sees that, they actually kiss, and it's a really cute kiss, and you can tell that Anna is into him too. But when they're done kissing, Ben appears, and he smashes Jer on the head with something, and then Jeremy falls down to the ground and he is unconscious. Then Anna says it's time for him to meet her mother, meaning Jeremy, because she wants to use Jeremy's blood to revive Pearl. In the next scene, we see Matt, who is leaning against a tree and he's holding a beer, and then Tyler sneaks up on him and he grabs the beer and drinks it. Then he's asking Matt where is Caroline, and Matt says that he doesn't know. And Tyler is making fun of him if their honeymoon phase is already over. Then Caroline comes over and Tyler goes away because it's like super embarrassing and weird and like super weird silence between them. And Caroline tells Matt that she has another speech. And here we go. The hand thing with Elena, it was lame. Well, I was lame. And hey, your feelings for Elena aside, Damon was there, and he was always such a jerk to me. And I wanted to show off that I was with the good guy. So anyway, I was lame. So, forgiven? Yeah, of course, Matt says. But I think I forgot to mention, so when Damon and Elena get to the woods, and Matt and Caroline are together, Caroline grabs Matt's hand in front of Elena and Damon. So this is what she's referring to and what she's talking about. But I don't know, but this scene is a bit weird to me because Matt, who was the one who kissed Caroline in the last episode, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago, and so I think he's the one who made the next step in their dating life, or in them dating. So I don't think it would be so weird for her to grab his hand, but I think it was because it was so obvious the way she did it, and it was in front of Elena, who like noticed, and she was kind of looking, and I guess it's because of that. But I just think that it didn't need a whole conversation about holding hands. Then I also like Tyler in this scene, as I mentioned, because when there was like this embarrassing silence between them, he kind of says like, I'm not drunk enough for this, like for whatever's going on, and then he disappears. So I thought that was funny. In the next scene, we are underneath the church by the tomb where Sheila and Bonnie are casting a spell. And we are starting a beautiful era of Phasmatos, which is Bonnie's go-to spell. After a while, the door to the tomb actually really opened. And Bonnie is very surprised at this, and she's like, it worked. And Sheila is like, of course it worked. And Damon says to Stefan, we have fires to build. So Stefan goes upstairs or up there into the woods to fetch his canisters of gasoline, which I think he could have grabbed before, but if he didn't, then he wouldn't have something to go to do, so that whatever happens next wouldn't have happened. And what happens next is that Damon tells Elena, you ready? And she's like, for what? And he's like, you think I'm gonna go in there by myself so you can seal me in? Because Damon needs leverage. So he basically tells Elena she has to go with him. And of course, if Stefan wasn't going upstairs to fetch his canisters of gasoline, then if he was downstairs, he wouldn't have let Elena to go with Damon. So he must have go fetch the gas so that there's an excuse for him to leave, and then Damon can take Elena inside. Anyways, they go inside. So then Stefan goes upstairs to fetch his gas, and he's grabbing all he needs to burn vampires when Ben appears, and he has Jeremy, who is still unconscious. Then Anna appears, and she tells to Stefan, hey hero, which again is but whatever. And then she tells to Stefan that she's gonna go get her mom out of the tomb, and he can either save Jeremy or he can go after her, and it's his choice. Damon and Elena are inside the tomb, and Elena can hear whispers around her. Elena is asking Damon what it is, and Damon tells her that it's the vampires and they can sense her. Then he kind of talks to himself, and she's like, where is she? And then he disappears. Elena is like, Damon, like, dude, Anna goes downstairs to the tomb, and Bonnie says that she's not gonna go in, but Sheila says it's fine, let her go in. So Anna goes inside, and then Sheila tells to Bonnie she isn't coming out. None of them are. Up there in the woods, Ben and Stefan going at their little fight, and Ben thinks that he can easily take Stefan down because Stefan doesn't drink human blood. So he goes after Stefan, but he takes him down, and then Ben is like, oh, is that all you got? And then Stefan pulls out his fire blowing torch, and he burns Ben. So yeah, he's like, oh, I got also this, and then he burns him. Then we see Elena inside of the tomb in the dark, and she's looking for Damon. She still hears the whispers around her, and then she sees the corpses of like the mummified vampires all around her, and it's super creepy. Stefan is going downstairs or down there by the tomb, and he's asking where Elena is. Bonnie says the demon took her inside. Stefan runs to the door, and Sheila tells him that if he's gonna go in, he cannot get out. Stefan is asking her, what did she do? And Sheila says, opening the door didn't remove the seal, it just opened the door. What's the seal? Some seals keep vampires from entering, this one keeps them from coming out. Elena's human, she can leave. Anna and Catherine can't. Damon can't. You were never planning on breaking the spell, were you? I told you. I will protect my own. Elena can get out. That's all that matters. Which, now it connects to me. Now it makes sense. So Sheila agreed to do this because she was never going to break the spell. She was just going to open the door. So I talked about it earlier, but that makes perfect sense. Anna tells to Elena that she must have a taste for it, because she screams and shrieks and battles to escape, but then she just comes right back in the middle of it. Then Anna finds her mom, and Anna tells to Elena, your boyfriend did this. And Elena's like, no, his father did. And Jonathan Gilbert. I made a choice a long time ago that it would be Gilbert blood that's gonna brought my mom back to life. I had Jeremy all ready to go, but... And then she grabs Elena, she bites in her wrist, Elena screams, and then Anna gives Elena's wrist to her mom so that she can drink her blood. Stefan hears Elena screaming, and he runs into the tomb. Bonnie is all freaking out, and she tells her Grams that they cannot let Stefan be inside, or kind of cannot leave him in the tomb. And Grams said that Stefan made his choice. Bonnie is like, no, here. She picks up the grimoire and she looks desperately at Grams, and she tells her, just show me what to do, I'll do it. Grams tells her, we're not strong enough. Even if we were able to bring the seal down, there is no guarantee that we could get it back up again. You said it yourself, many things can fuel a witch's power. Help me or I'll do it alone. In the tomb, Pearl is drinking Elena's blood. Stefan comes there and he saves Elena from that and tells her to run outside of the tomb. Pearl is calling for Anna, and she goes to her, and they are all crying because they're happy to be reunited. Elena is running out of the tomb, and Bonnie and Sheila are looking for a spell. Stefan is standing at the tomb's door, and Elena is asking him what's happening, why can't he go out? And Bonnie says, it's gonna be okay, I'll fix it. And then Elena is like, what is it? And Bonnie says, the spell is still up, we can't get them out yet. You went in there not knowing you could come back out? And then Stefan says, I heard you scream. We can't leave him in there, we promised him, both of us. And she means Damon. So then Stefan goes back inside to look for Damon. Then Graham says, even if we are able to break through the seal, we won't be able to hold it for long. Then Damon is still looking for Catherine, and Stefan goes inside and he actually finds Damon. Damon says, she's not here. And Stefan says, Damon, we have to get out of here. And in the meantime, Damon is throwing the blood bag against the wall that he had for Catherine. And Anna and Pearl are leaving the tomb. Pearl is still very weak. Then Anna tells to Bonnie and Sheila, I just wanted my mother back. Jeremy's fine, he's outside, I won't touch him. Then Bonnie and Grams are still continuing the spell. Elena runs back inside because they cannot hold the spell much longer. So in the tomb, Stefan is telling Damon, we need to get out of here. Damon is muttering, it doesn't make any sense, they locked her inside. If we don't leave now, we're not getting out. How could she not be in here? It's not worth spending all eternity down here. She's not worth it. Then Damon's like, no. And he pushes Stefan away. Elena gets there and she says, Damon, please. And finally Damon agrees to go and they all walk out of the tomb. Then they get out of the tomb and the tomb door closes right when they get out. This scene is super full of emotions and it's very like nerve-wracking. And I also like Stefan when he's telling Damon that like it's not worth to spend all eternity in here. And even though they have beef together, they have fights, then still Stefan cares about Damon enough to get him out of there. I also like that when Elena runs in there, she doesn't even have to say anything. She just says, Damon, please. And that alone is enough for Damon to walk outside of the tomb. And it's like super crazy because Damon is looking for Catherine. He doesn't find her, but Elena gets there and she looks like Catherine. Like it's such a powerful scene for me at least. Then we are back in the woods and Matt is asking Caroline if any of that between them is real. And Caroline has a speech number 3 and she basically tells him, I want this to work, like between them. And Matt says he also wants it to work. Stefan and Elena are coming outside into the woods and they are running towards Jeremy, who is waking up and he's okay. Then Damon is coming up and he looks totally depressed. Elena goes to him and she hugs him and it's a beautiful scene. I've always loved this scene. She also tells him, I'm sorry. And I think this might be like one of my favorite scenes from this episode when she hugs him. Stefan is standing there watching Elena go and hug Damon, and I think he understands, but he also sees that Elena and Damon have some kind of a bond, even though right now it's probably just pity and compassion from Elena's side. Then in the next scene, we are in Sheila's house, which is again Graham's, and Sheila looks super tired. Bonnie wants to help her up, but Sheila says she's okay. But Bonnie tells her, it was a big spell. I could tell it took a lot out of you. Then in the next scene we are at Elena's house and she's bringing Jeremy some like painkiller because he has a headache, and Jer tells her that he doesn't know what happened and he swears he doesn't drink that much and he's sorry. Elena says there is nothing to be sorry about and if he needs anything else because she has to go over to Bonnie's for a little bit. Jer says that he's okay, he's just gonna go to sleep. And right away when Elena leaves, Jer goes to his computer and he googles the word vampire. In the next scene we have Pearl and Anna who come to Anna's motel room. Anna shuts on the light and she gets scared because Damon is sitting in one of the chairs and he has like a super creepy face expression. Damon says, you knew Catherine wasn't in there. You wouldn't have helped me. Then Damon like vamp speeds up to Pearl and grabs her by the throat, and Damon says, why do you get a happy ending? Damon, please, you wouldn't have helped me. You know you wouldn't. And then Pearl says to Damon, the guard, the one at the church, the one who locked us in. She promised to turn him. He was obsessed with her. She had him under her spell, like everybody else. He let her go. And then Anna adds, last I saw her was Chicago, 1983. She knew where you were, Damon. She didn't care. Damon is utterly hurt by this information, and as you walk away, Anna and Pearl embrace each other, and Damon is just completely broken and sad and everything. And Ian beautifully plays Damon's sorrow in this scene, the betrayal, the sadness, the just heartache, and the heartache of 145 years of Damon trying to open the tomb and get the woman he loves back, and she's not there, and she was free this whole time and she didn't come to find him, so he's completely broken. And I kind of feel like it would be impossible for Damon not to learn that Catherine is free in 145 years. I feel like there's not that many vampires out in the world. I mean, there's a lot of them, but like somehow he would figure that out. I also find it hard that Catherine would not visit Stefan since she cares about him so much. Elena is then at Sheila's house and she's talking on the phone with Stefan. He's asking about how Damon is doing and if he's gonna be okay, and Stefan says that he doesn't know and he's gonna call her later. Again, there is another beautiful scene. It's Damon who is sitting in front of a fireplace and he's just blankly staring into the fire. Stefan comes in and he sits down next to him and they just sit together in silence, just staring into the fire. There is no words that they say to each other, but this scene is so powerful, so strong, and to me, so, so beautiful. Because no matter what Damon did to Stefan, no matter that he killed his best friend, that he killed Vicky and Turner and all that stuff, there is still that underlying bond of brotherhood and love. And Stefan just sits next to him and they stare into the fire together. And I love this scene. In the next scene, Bonnie is coming to Grandma's room and she's bringing her tea, but then she talks to her and Grandma is not waking up and not reacting. So Bonnie starts to shake her and she's not waking up. So Bonnie starts screaming and Elena runs in and then she calls an ambulance and Bonnie is freaking out. She tries to find a spell in the grimoire and Elena is embracing Bonnie and she's trying to calm her down, but it's not helping. Back in the tomb, we see a vampire that has been locked in there for years. He grabs the blood bag that Damon broke in the tomb. Then he gets up, he opens the door from the tomb, and he's walking outside. And this, my friends, is the ending of episode 14, Fool Me Once. And I also want to mention that I love that song that plays towards the end of this episode, which is Leona Lewis, Run. And I think it's a perfect song that plays for scenes that we are seeing while it's playing in the background, with Damon's depression and the very unexpected death of Grams, of Sheila, which is Bonnie's grandma. And I think it's a huge plot twist that Bonnie's grandma died and that Catherine is actually not in the tomb at all. And also, as I mentioned before, my two favorite scenes is Stefan and Damon staring into the fire together, not talking, and then the hug that Elena gives to Damon after he finds out that Catherine is not in the tomb and she was free this entire time and she did not find him. And I feel like both of them, Stefan and Elena, have so much compassion for Damon in this episode and they can feel his pain, even though both of them kind of couldn't wait for Damon to get Catherine and to get hell out of Mystic Falls and let them live their lives. But they still love him enough to be there for him when this horrible thing has happened to Damon. And I mean, this episode is just packed with emotions and a lot of things that happen, and it was a really good one. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait that we are halfway through the season already, and I'm very excited about next episodes that are gonna be also very packed with information. Oh, that was a lot. It's almost midnight here. This is my second episode I'm uploading today. I feel like I am like stepping on my tongue already and I'm gonna pass out falling asleep soon, like Jeremy did in the woods when Ben like grabbed the wood and did that to him. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I do hope I will find more time to do these next week, because this week has been crazy at work. I also hope that you are having a wonderful week, a great weekend, that you're doing something fun, something relaxing, and something just for you. And I will meet you here again next week when we will be talking about episode 15. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything you want to tell me, you can do so on my vampire Instagram, which is TVD forever. I was feeling epic. You can send me a message on there about anything that you would like to discuss and that is connected to the Vampire Diaries. And thank you so much for listening and have a great day. Bye.